Test. Mike, testing 1, 2, 3. I'm out in the woods now this evening, just out for a fire, sit back and relax. I took Saku and beer, out for a run. Where are you two guys? Come over here, come here. Good job. So we just came out for a run, get the dogs off the leash, tire them out. Walking around the neighborhood doesn't seem to do the same type of justice as a good walk in the woods does, or a run is what they were doing on the way in. Hey buddy. So I came out today and I wanted to record this little fire chat because I want to talk about the trip I have coming up across Labrador and Quebec, essentially the entire Labrador Peninsula. And it's a 1,700 kilometer trip, roughly, give or take. It could be, 1,600, it could be a little over 17. That's just a rough estimate based on calculations I had made on Google Maps. But it's, the main thing is I have a number. Boy, did that ever come on quick. We're just here now in the lee of some bush, taking shelter. Look what we bagged coming into camp. Just got a little weird when we couldn't see land for about an hour and a half. At 1.4 million square kilometers, the Labrador Peninsula is one of the last great wilderness areas on the planet. In 2018, I set a goal to cross its width from the Labrador Sea to Hudson Bay. An estimated 1,700 kilometer journey that would last 83 days. With only my dog Saku, I traveled by canoe, up and down remote rivers, across enormous lakes, and over portages that were littered with both beauty and danger. I came to another portage. This one's a long one. I'm gonna make this quick because the nippers are bad. We would see wilderness that few, if any, have ever seen, and rewind back to a time when life was simpler. Now, we bring the story to you. Let's do this. A little test here to start the day. What do you think, Saku? Almost there, Saku. Hold on. Good boy. I had goosebumps coming in. This is crazy. You can't beat it. It's a big trip. Right now it's the 10th of June. And on the 25th of July, I fly out of Gander, Newfoundland, toward St. John's to catch a connecting flight to Goose Bay. And from Goose Bay, I'll go to Northwest River, and hopefully by the 27th of July, I'll start my expedition. I'm getting anxious now, more anxious in the way of excited to start my trip. I'm not so much nervous or scared, but I'm definitely, a little uneasy about the whole experience. This is, for me, the biggest trip I've ever done. Last year, the Newfoundland trip, for those of you who paid attention, was 700 kilometers, and this is an extra 1,000 on top of that. So more than double the distance. And there's some different obstacles this time around. I had to go upriver, roughly, a few hundred kilometers, 300 kilometers against the current, and I've done a little bit of that in the past, but not to the extent of what I'm about to do. So it's going to be challenging, it's going to be demanding. I'm going to have to take my time, watch every step. Walking off those river slippery rocks, it's so easy to break an ankle, break a leg.
It's a different atmosphere when you're by yourself. If anything happens, you're on your own. And I know he has lots of communication devices, so that does ease my mind a little, but it is still a worry, definitely in the back of my mind, that, you know, there's an added danger when you're by yourself doing something like this.
I'm gonna knock on wood now for superstition purposes, but and then I'm going to be on the big lakes, Smallwood Reservoir, Canny Piasco Reservoir. They're really big bodies of water. Smallwood in particular is going to be roughly 180 to 200 kilometers across that. It's the 10th largest lake in Canada, and again, that's just going to be a patience game. Take my time, paddle when we can, and when we can't, we're going to have to stay ashore. I don't want to risk myself in dangerous winds, because it doesn't take a whole lot on a lake like that for things to pick up, and all of a sudden we put ourselves at risk of capsizing.
What worries me the most is definitely the water portion of the trip.
Water is really going to worry me.
Water is obviously very unpredictable anywhere, whether it's the ocean, a river, anything.
Big lakes, I'm not sure where they lead, but it's wildlife. I think he got that under control, but the water is a big thing for me.
It's going to be probably paddling a lot of early mornings, late evenings, maybe even some overnight stretches if we get good clear weather. And if I'm forced to miss too many days, and of course I'd get a phone call, because I'm still in connection here, still in civilization, but if I can't go throughout the days because there's too much wind, I may have to go overnight. So there's going to be some big decisions to make. Big land, lots of fish. It's going to be amazing, and they're going to be big. There's going to be lots of wildlife. There's going to be caribou, moose, plenty of black bears. Labrador is full of black bears. There are hopefully some wolves. I'd love to see some wolf sightings and some good close, intense encounters. Not too intense. And you know, the black bear issue, I'm not overly worried about it. I'm going to be taking my food in barrels this time around. Food barrels. And it's not going to be completely bear proof, but it's going to minimize the scent of my food, and I'll keep the beer barrel away from my camp at night time, tied to a tree or lashed onto a tree. And I'll have a shotgun for protection, some beer bangers, and we should be good to go. I think we'll be okay, just like us Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. Rumor has it the black bears are friendly too. So that's a part of it all. There's going to be a lot of flies, a lot of black flies, and that's Labrador. That's Labrador. I know that going into this trip, and I don't dwell on that too much. It's one of the first things people will bring up. Well, what about the flies? What are you going to do? I'm going to have a bug net, fly dope. I'm working on a natural fly dope for Saku, something I'm going to be able to put on him. It's not 100% sure. I've been reading up on some things, but I'll keep that under the wraps for now. But we'll be okay in that department. But a big trip coming up. I'm excited to leave. Man, am I ever excited. And I'm excited to show you guys when I return. Hopefully I get good content, and I'm going to make a documentary. Hopefully someone does it for me. That's all I can hope, and if not, I'll go to YouTube again. So that's something else to stay tuned for. You ready for the big trip, Zach? He's ready. I seen him work his magic last year, and I'm excited to see him do it again. So, and there goes my phone again. So that's it. Everything's going to be okay. It's going to be a big trip. We're going to take our time. All said and done, if I leave by the 27th of July, I can cover the 1,700 kilometers at roughly 20 kilometers a day in 86 days. That will bring me to October 20th. That's just some minor calculations I have done and some goals I have set. But again, no rush. It's one foot in front of the other. Take your time. Enjoy it. There's going to be days where we have to move quicker. There's going to be days where we have to move slower. There's going to be days where I can't move at all. But that's the fun of the adventure. That's the challenge. It's the perfect challenge for me and for Saku. It's hard work, and it's a bit of a game. It's a game, you know. My first food supply. I'm going to leave with around 25 days of food from Northwest River. Man, oh man. Can't get over the phone. But I'm going to leave from Northwest River, and I'm going to take 25 days of food with me. It's roughly 240 kilometers to get to Smallwood Reservoir on my route. Going across Grand River, up the Nascapi little ways, and up the Red Wine River to its headwaters, and then down the Smallwood. And then I can get a resupply by my bush pilot. But I want to see how far I can go on my first supply. That's a challenge to me. That's part of the game and the excitement. Put my skills to the test. I'm excited to learn too, and I'm excited to learn about Labrador and northern Quebec and these places where I haven't been before. I've learned about the landscape and everything there is to learn. And come back and, you know, with everything I've recorded and viewed, I can share it with everyone else.
Well, I think it's something that he loves to do, and I think it's something that he definitely needs to explore. He's been talking about this trip ever since he's gotten back from his last one, and I know how excited he is about it. So, I mean, I think if it makes him happy, then it makes me happy, and I have all the faith in the world in him for this trip.
Well, I think it's great. Kind of seeing it growing up. He spent so much time at it when he was a young kid. It's going to be hard times during the 3 months, but I'm sure he's ready and he's well prepared to do this, him and the dog, and it's going to be sleepless nights, but at the end of the day, I think everything will go well. Have all faith.
You know, it's not easy. I've watched everything he's done for the past year, and a lot of work goes into it. It's great. I think it's wonderful if it's his passion and what he wants to do. I trust him because he has been planning this for a full year. I know all the research that he's done with this, everybody who he's talked to, I guess stuff on the internet, through books, everything. He's very smart about survival skills, and he has a lot of the training courses, and I think that's why I trust him the most about it. He is going to want to get home. He's going to want to be safely coming home, and I know he'll take good care of Saku because he loves Saku as if Saku was his own child. So I think it will be, I trust him for sure on the trip.
I know that he is well organized. He's after doing a few treks. One trek across Newfoundland last year, 2017, and from what I know, everything went well. I'll see when his book comes out, but he did it in university, and I think that he'll be fine. All kinds of trust. In the daytime, I'm working, and I just feel they're out on this little adventure on their own, not thinking about where he's to all the time, but daytime is fine. Nighttime, closing in, that's when I kind of start worrying until his spot comes out and I can see that he's safe for the night, him and Saku. Then I can kind of turn in and sleep.